Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the APAT show, Sunday night, 9:30 p.m. Of course, Lee, how are you?
I am very well indeed. Tough weekend sport-wise, so we won't go into too much of that.
We'll talk about the sport,
other
Lee.
than that, let's not. But other than that, yeah, it's good weekend, good stuff. It's a kind of such a busy autumn for APAT. This is like a quiet weekend, but obviously the weekend before we were in Portsmouth. And this time next week, we probably won't be too far off from crowning our Glasgow winner. So all super good and lots going on for poker players at the moment.
Yeah, it's chocker, and you can kind of really feel the winter coming in. I mean, obviously we're in autumn, right? But it feels so darn cold. I don't know what it's like down near the south coast, but it's been a bit miserable over the last couple of days. It's feeling cold. The office is cold. Everything is just kind of a bit cold and miserable.
Yeah,
I have to say,
wet and windy. I was apple picking this afternoon.
Apple picking. Wow.
Yeah.
Impressive.
So, trying to get as many apples off the tree before they drop and the dogs then go for them.
Yeah, become absolutely nasty, gnarly stuff.
So so just been clearing down. We don't actually want them, so if we found a good home for them, there's a local charity that happily will take them and do something useful with them, because we inherited an apple tree when we moved in here, and this year it's had more on it than it's ever had.
Wow,
15 odd years, and but say we don't really, not really our thing.
Don't want the apples. You just want to cut that tree down, Lee. Just get rid.
Jen wouldn't have any of that. No, she would not be happy.
Would not be happy with that.
Yeah, so no poker tonight, guys. Unfortunately, the satellite was one pesky runner away from starting, and I mean, you didn't make it happen, guys. So nothing much we can do about that. Unfortunately, it needs 5 to run. We put the guarantee up there. We put those two £140 tickets up for grabs every single week. We just need 5 of you to start. If it was only 5 and it played out with 5, we'd still give the 2 seats guaranteed. So we're kind of doing our end of the deal. Really need a few more of you to try and rock up on a Sunday night if you want to do so. Unfortunately, that means you missed out on any chance of qualifying for Glasgow this time next weekend. That was going to be your last chance to do that. But of course, obviously, those seats are open for loads of other events in the autumn, so plenty to choose from. But it is Glasgow next weekend, same as the way the Portsmouth structure worked. So day 1 on the Friday night, day 2 on the Saturday afternoon, everybody in the money on the Sunday, with a few side events thrown in for good measure. Tom will be looking after you all at Grosvenor Casino Merchant City up in Glasgow. Really good venue to get to, and hopefully let's see whether it does the same sort of numbers that we did in Portsmouth. I think we did about 170 something odd. I think it was
massively successful. I thought, Lee,
in the end. So that's the way it played out. The winner was, let me make sure I get this right, because Tom's written a lot of details on this. So Chris Suttle. So very well done to him. Chris Suttle picked up the gold medal, and it was Jack Hamilton in second place and Leon Smith in third. So very well done to them. I popped over to Portsmouth on the Friday night, and it was absolutely heaving in the card room. There's only a small card room, Des. Beautiful down at Gunwharf Quays in Portsmouth, which is a kind of a little kind of retail setup going on there down in the old kind of dockyard. So Tom was very much at home. Really felt in a good place. But yeah, it was absolutely packed out. So Ben, who was up at the Worlds, chopped the mini main, if I remember rightly. He's one of the TDs down there, a card room supervisor. So he was looking after us for the weekend. And to say, they didn't have a spare seat all night. When they freed up a table, they basically were opening cash games on the Friday and Saturday night. So pretty much from when I got there at sort of 7 o'clock, it started at 6. We went off and grabbed a coffee somewhere just to kind of get out of there, because it was just too manic with people. So we left them all to it for a few hours. So Tom and I had a good chat about 2026. More on that in a bit. But so by the time we got back, and their tables were still full, to say they'd opened 2 or 3 cash tables by then as well. So really busy, which is nice to see, because sometimes we think some of the kind of the more regional cardrooms that we don't necessarily normally always go to every year. They still got a really good good mix of players rocking up and playing poker week in, week out at those venues. And it was nice to see them turn up and support the APAT event, and thoroughly loved it. Number of APAT regs that we saw there. Alan Ellis was there. Andy and Maggie I saw on the Friday night, and they were playing on the Saturday. I think John Murray played both of the days as well. Dave Kingswell was down there playing both of the days as well. Saw Gary McBride. I think Ken played on the Saturday.
Oh wow!
I only saw Gary on the Friday night, but I think Ken played on the Saturday as well. So yeah, lots of good faces down there, and we'll see. We've got two more UK ones coming up pretty much back to back. So Glasgow is next weekend, and then we've obviously we've got the event over in Ash, but then we've got Leeds at the beginning of October as well. So loads going on. You can check it all out on the website if you like. We've updated the website a little bit.
Oh, it looks great, Leigh.
If you go on the homepage now, it's a little bit more user friendly if you're on a mobile, which a lot more people are these days. So you can scroll down. So all this stuff is now clickable. Basically, you can really easy on the front page now. This is pretty much how it will look on your phone as well. Find all the info you need. You can click through or scan through to the Facebook group. You can click and get your latest episodes of the APAT show if you want to do that. So say if you click on that one, that'll take you into the APAT show player, and you'll be able to catch up on any of the shows you wanted there. There you go. So that's all the latest one. So there's some stuff from the WCOAP. We've got there's the final table of the main there. You can click on that if you want and watch that. It'll all start playing in here, or you can click through and watch it all on YouTube as well. So whatever's easiest for you, to be honest. But all that's on the website. All the info that you should need there. But Glasgow is next weekend, and looking forward to that. But yes, so we were chatting about 2026. So we kind of are pulling together all of the details for it, but we got a little bit gazumped during the week because one of the things that we've been arranging and is happening, they announced their schedule for next year. So kind of it was out there, Des, wasn't it, really? So we kind of
very quickly it was out there. Yeah,
it was out there super quickly. I think pretty much the same night that we had a meeting. But for 2026 we are heading back to the Irish Open. Cannot wait. We've got an event there. Let me click on the schedule. So they've basically released the schedule for next year. Now, for anybody that follows the APAT show or listens to us on Poker Raffles, we love the Irish Open. It's very difficult not to love the Irish Open. What the guys have done since it's moved to this new venue at the RDS at the Royal Dublin Society, you just got to go and check it out to believe it. I mean, you can see the photo there. That's like about a third of that hall, maybe nearly a half. But that main hall is massive. I've done walkthroughs there when we've done Poker Raffle streams whilst we've been out there and giving you guys a feel for what's going on with it. It is just absolutely crazy number of tables. Last year, so they're behind that wall. I say, I'm not how easy you can see it on that photo that we've got up on the screen there, but basically that back wall there's another two halls behind there. They literally last year, or this Easter just gone, quickly got permission to use those, dumped another 40 tables in there and opened up another two halls because it was just that crazy with numbers. It is only going to get bigger. I don't know whether you've had a chance to look at the schedule for next year.
It looks insane.
So it's over Easter again. So basically it's from Thursday the 26th of March right through, let me get to the last date so I got that for you, to Monday the 6th of April, which is Easter Monday. And it's just a crazy schedule. So much in there. But the most important bit is on Friday, the 27th of March, the first Friday, day 2 of the festival, 3:00 in the afternoon, APAT Irish Championship. We are in there with a two-day event. Slightly different structure to our to what we would normally put on, but very much in tune with what the guys do at the Irish Open. And so, yeah, if you want to go out and play that, it's the first weekend. So it's before the Easter weekend. You can go over and play the APAT Irish Championship for 2026. And obviously, next year is a huge year for us. It is our 20th anniversary. So, yeah, we're super happy to be able to celebrate that over at the Irish Open. What I should say, with our APAT community and crowd who love their mixed games, this first weekend is rammed with mixed games stuff to play. So on day one, there's the big O. On day two is Svitten. There's also some Quarto PLO, whatever that is. I'm not really sure. On day three, which is our day two. So if you've rocked up and played the APAT event on the Friday and not made it through, on the Saturday, you can jump into a mixed 8-game championship.
Amazing, yeah.
The 2-day event. That's 350 euros. So
fantastic.
Again, it's not thousands and thousands of euros to play it. Obviously, we put 8 games on for 140 quid and stuff like that. But you're not going to get many games. I think we're about the low point. I think 250 is about the kind of the min, which that's what the mini is next year. So 250 euros is about the minimum. So to be able to play a 2-day 8 game for 350 euros is pretty cool, and it's a good structure. And a load of the guys were overplaying it last year. Day 2 of that is on the Sunday. And then you've also then got there's a Kings and Queens thing that they're doing with a Queen's flight and a King's flight, and then whoever makes it through into the day 2, then it gets mixed up on day 2. So I'm assuming that's male and female. It's the is the situation there. Say most of the nights have got a mini main day on it, which has got €1 million guarantee on it. It's a 250 euro buy-in. That's got €1 million guarantee on the mini main. And then obviously into the second week, you start getting into the there's a bigger 8 game, which is like an 1150 if you want to play that. But then obviously once you start getting into the kind of Wednesday, Thursday, you start getting the main event, which has got a 2.5 million euro guarantee on it.
Wow.
Obviously, we'll be running some packages for that through poker raffles. I think we had 3 went out last year, 3 or 4 might have been. So we'll be looking to do those again. But obviously, you'll be able to satellite. Grosvenor will send a bunch of players out to play that again through their online satellites. It's going to be good fun. If you were wondering what to do Easter next year, I would suggest Dublin would be a pretty cool place to spend a little bit of time playing some poker.
It's kind of it's got to be up there with the World Series of Poker now, Lee, as a must visit. It's a bucket list event. If you haven't done big festivals, or if you have but you haven't done either of those two, you've kind of got to tick those boxes, right? So it doesn't really matter what you play, but just to be there as part of the whole feel of the festival must be done.
Yeah, I'd suggest, probably, I'd say the World Series is probably still number 1. Probably the World Championship of Amateur Poker is probably number 2.
They're close though, right?
And now, and now this is probably Irish Open sits there, probably alongside the WPT Championship in December over in Vegas, probably as a joint third. I'd say that's probably a reasonable way to look at it.
Loving your rankings, sir. Loving your rankings.
If you were ticking things off, do you know what I mean? The things you wanted to do, that's for definite. Yeah.
I do have one complaint though, Lee, on the structure. My favourite event is on there again, and I'm delighted to see it. But the starting stack sketch feels kind of low. The flip and go, Lee. They're giving you a stack of one chip, Lee, one chip. How can I be expected to prevail with one chip? What's that about?
Yeah. How many more do you want them? Absolutely. So that is one date for your diary for next year, for 2026. As I say, huge year for us. It'll be 20 years of APAT. APAT started. Its first event was in September in 2006. So very much, you can play the whole thing of, so when does the 20 years hit and what counts what? But hey, it's 2006 to 2026 as far as we're concerned. So very much we're looking to celebrate that all of throughout next year. And this is very much one date that we can put in. We've got loads of other dates that we're going to be able to talk about very, very soon. But one we can share with you, it's not an APAT event, but there are going to be quite a few people going out to Vegas next summer. There's not going to be an APAT event out there, but if you are thinking of doing Vegas next year and you want to be out there with a few APATers and a few friendly faces, I could strongly recommend the last week in June, first week in July next summer. If you fancy getting out there, that coincides with lots of really good events on at the WSOP. And as I say, there'll be lots of people. I'm going to be out there. Tom's going to be out there. And say already plenty of others are kind of talking about heading in around those dates or in and out. I know some are doing road trips else places and going to then pop down to Vegas for a few days or whatever. And so I'm pretty sure that during that time we'll be able to catch up and meet up with quite a few people and enjoy the 20th celebrations over in Vegas for a couple of weeks for anybody that can head over. We're not going to put an event on over there. There's so much going on in the summer over in Vegas that it's kind of just quite tricky to actually get anything off the ground. We've done it in the past, but we've just we'll be over there. And so if you want to meet up at some point, just let us know or post up in the group if you're thinking of going. And people will pop up with details and advice on what's best to do and what's expensive and what's not. So they're the two dates we can give you at the moment. Schedule's actually not far off from being complete. And if it wasn't for the fact that we've got so much going on this autumn to get through before we even get there, let me pop back to the the APAT website. Just so mention Glasgow and Ash and Leeds, but just having a look and see what else we've got before we get to the end of the year. So we've got a trip over to Malta in the beginning of November. That's the end of the Malta Poker Festival. So the Malta Poker Festival starts from I think about the 24th or 25th, something like that. So say full week out there, €500,000 guarantee main event out there. Obviously a massive APAT event, gets huge numbers of runners playing that, and we'll have lots of players that are going to be playing with poker raffles winnings and this, that, and the other. Why is it always when we do the show, somebody starts messaging me on something or other, trying to contact?
That's what people do when other people are on streams, though. They call them just to hear their phone call ring. I doubt it's that, though. I doubt it's that.
No, I know what. Okay, I've just read what it is. We'll talk later. Okay, so
that sounded interesting.
Yeah,
cool.
And so then obviously the UK COAP down at Genting in London in November, which will be another great 5 days of poker. And obviously we wrap up the year back up at Dusk Till Dawn for poker squads. I think Tom will be putting out details of how to register a squad for squads if you want to get involved in that. For anybody that's never played Poker Squads Live before, it's teams of 4 and it's basically all around playing sit and goes. So everybody gets to play, every player gets to play 3 sit and goes on day 1, where you earn points to qualify your team through to day 2. If you win your sit and go, you also get to pick a mystery prize. So we've got spot prizes. So some of the prize pool gets paid out on day 1 to everybody that wins their sit and goes. I think last year we had prizes. It was like 50 quid up to, I think we had £1,000 for the final round of that. So, and then the rest of the money, so that's about 30% of the prize pool gets paid out on day 1, and then the rest of the prize pool is all put onto the final table. And if you qualify through for day 2, everybody then plays 1 more sit and go, and if you win your sit and go, you qualify your team onto that final table. So that's how it works. So it's all about beating the people sat around your table. So it's no MTTs, no breaking down of tables or any of that thing. It's basically all about beating the players in front of you and scoring points or qualifying your team for that final table. Huge amount of fun. All loads of side events as well, always on the go at Dusk Till Dawn over that weekend. So pretty much, if you get there, it's a cracking weekend. The bounty, they'll put the normal bounty comp on a Friday night, which is always silly numbers as well. So really good fun. last bit of poker, I suppose, before the Christmas break for a lot of people, I guess, is will be the way to look at it. So well worth getting involved with that if you fancy it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Guys, do look out for that one. And of course, become a staple now. It's become a poker staple for APAT pre-Christmas. It's the last get-together of the community. And ironically, the first get-together of the community tends to be the UK Team Championship. Similar sort of vibe. Great community-driven events relatively early in the new year. So I would expect, Leigh, I mean, we don't know yet, right? But I would expect that'll be up there early on in our schedule for 2026 as well. We will see. We will see. Right, my friend, what else do we want to carry on? I mean, we're having a super turbo APAT show tonight. We don't have poker going in the background, as we said. So what else do we have to cover off for anyone who may watch this either live with us or tomorrow?
So just a couple of quick things. Let me just talk on raffles, because we've got
raffles.
We've got the APAT draw happening tomorrow night. 43 tickets left for that if you want to get involved in that one. There's also a Party Poker Tour Player's Choice, which has only got 120. Both of those will be gone by way before tomorrow's draw at 9 o'clock. That's for sure. So if you want to get involved in that, we also have the WSOP circuit triple draw as well, with 3 chances to win on that one. So that's drawing beginning of October. So if you want to get involved in that, then you can do so. Get your tickets for that. Going to be good value in that, I think. So if you want to get involved in that one, well worth getting your tickets for that. And I say we'll obviously have APAT draws going on a regular basis. I've closed off the fantasy football. So for anyone that are looking to register, I think it's still updating. Let me see if it's finished updating the leaderboards yet or not. No, it's still updating them at the moment. So for the leagues, but Andy Shaleski was leading the way. That's Andy's team for this week. A pretty strong looking team there, Des. And considering he left 14 points on the bench with Van der Ven this week.
Oh, killer timing.
Yeah, he did the same thing as me. He's got Wirtz and he's got Ekatike, and they were both at a shocker today. Absolute.
Thought Ekatike played okay, some nice touches, but ultimately you just can't break down.
Yeah. And he's and obviously once Isaac starts, it'll be interesting to see how much Ekatike plays. Wirtz has been very disappointing so far. I've had him in from the start, and he's not. No goal contributions whatsoever from him so far. There's obviously an absolute quality player there, but we will see.
Yeah.
But so Andy's currently is leading that at the moment. I think 78 points for the week. Probably going to see him stay top. Let's see what Paul Jeffries. It's Alan Story there as well. Let's see what Alan's scored for the week. 67. Yeah. So a lot of people have gone for Haaland again this year. Let's see where Paul Jeffries is. 71. So yeah, I think probably that means Andy will probably be top. See, mad people that have gone for Ekatike and Wirtz.
All 3 of them had Ekatike in their selections.
Yeah, it's mad, isn't it? I'm probably once I know Isaac is starting, I'm probably going to switch it out.
I think, Leigh, though, one of 2 things might happen, because Gakpo looks a little bit kind of stale to me. You'll find that either Wirtz will be pushed to the left and will, get a lot of minutes over there, or else alternatively Ekatike will also get minutes from the left, and he looks like he's very good at running at people.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Completely agree. I mean, my team, let me bring mine up. So I scored 69 for the week, so that's okay. But again, I had Wirtz and Ekatike in, which is, but
that's fine for you. Yeah.
No, I made the right decision putting Dubravka in goal instead of Sells. It was a kind of the lesser of 2 evils, really. Dubravka's at home against your lot, and Sells is playing away at the Emirates. I picked that. I'm quite happy that even just the 2 points there is a little bit of a win. That I picked the right one there. Pretty much got the right captain myself this week. Haaland scored 13 points. Could have had Semenyo as captain as well, but other than that, I look what's left on my bench, and Ronaldo from Sunderland, didn't see a clean sheet coming from them this week. So obviously he could have gone in instead of tossing for Chelsea, but trying to predict you're going to put a Sunderland defender in ahead of a Chelsea defender is a tough one. And Estive from Burnley, even though conceded a very late goal against yourselves, I think he must have picked up some decent defensive contributions. 15 defensive contributions.
Yeah.
So gets the extra 2 points for that. But I think I've just put Grealish in this week, and he was a bit disappointing, to be honest. And I'd taken Salah out to do that, so I'd switched around and put Haaland in, dropped Salah, and obviously Salah again gets his goal.
95th minute though, Lee. You didn't lose a lot up to that, I have to say.
No, not really. And Haaland looked back in beast mode this afternoon. Yep. So quite happy with that. So loads going on with that. I mean, just to give you an idea, Des, I don't know whether you look to see how many runners we had in this. There is just pages of it.
Brilliant.
I'm not sure how many. Let me see how many we got to. Let me get down to the end and see if I can find out how many we ended up having in here. We're on 4 pages of this.
Who are these people, Lee? Who are they?
175 people in total. And a bit of a shout out to Jamie Robinson, who's currently bottom of. I mean, he's bottom on 131 points. I mean, it's not a bad score, but I mean.
Yeah, you can see his mistake there, not selecting Wirtz and Ekitike. Obviously, that's the issue.
You can always tell somebody that's not really. So he's made no transfers this week, and he's clearly not looked at his team because he's still got Kuna in, who we knew was injured. Obviously, Soucek wasn't, but has now
busy
got
lifely. He's doing other things.
Strand Larsen has obviously been out for a little while, and Delot was out, but. What you can say for Jamie is his team name, Liam Delap Dancer, is
fantastic.
I mean, he may currently be bottom of the leaderboard, but that's pretty good as far as.
Well, it must have been a decent team probably for week 1, right? Because everybody gives week 1 a lot of attention.
Well, let's have a look. Let's go.
Probably did decent points.
Let's go back to his week 1. Not really. He scored 30 or 40 points for most weeks. Not really, and with Salah in his team, so I don't know. Has he transferred out Salah at any point? No, he hasn't. He hasn't touched his team, so he's had Salah as captain throughout. And to be fair, Salah scored points in week 1 and week 4 so far. So so it kind of So that's the person that's bottom of our leaderboard at the moment, and actually that's still not bad. 40 points,
decent points
on average for the 4 weeks. We've got some quality people in our mini league for this year. 175 in total. Saying we're going to add some poker raffles site credits for the winners.
Great effort. So great effort, and
we'll keep dipping in and out of it throughout the season and see how everybody's getting on.
I think Simon's given you a little rub about your team, Lee. Must not have had any United players in. I didn't see it, Lee. I have to say it was after the Liverpool game, so I just didn't watch 2 in a row. Was it reflective of the scoreline?
Yes and no. The game was obviously when United starting to have a chat. If you look at the stats, I think City had an XG of 2.5 and United had an XG of 1.5. So if you looked at that solely, you'd go, "Oh, crikey, that's a bit closer than you think it is." But the reality of it is, we really didn't lay a glove on them in the first half, and they scored a very good goal. It was a little bit lucky. Doku got the ball back, having tried to cross it, that got blocked, and it came back to him, and he flicked it back. But Foden's header was superb, right in the corner. Had to actually guide it in quite well. So fair play to them. But then they didn't really do much in the first half. So it got to half time, and you were thinking, well, okay, we're 1 down, but actually, other than that chance, they've not really created anything. They came out in the second half, and we were a bit sloppy in midfield, and Haaland just hit beast mode and took 1 chance and then a second chance. And it was only after that, when we're when we were already 2 down and then went the 3rd down, we probably actually at 2 down, and Mbeumo had an incredible volley that Donnarumma saved, which was phenomenal save. Hey, buy yourself a decent goalkeeper, that's what happens. So yeah, that's the reality. The volley was superb, and very unlucky not to score from that. But then they got a third on the break, kind of really, because we were starting to apply a bit of pressure. And yeah, we ended up getting to 1.4 xg, but yeah, never really well.
Yeah.
I mean, Buemo missed another one, which just came out in really, really quickly, but it was 6 yards out. And Casemiro missed one where he just again saw it late and was stretching for it and couldn't flick it in from the back post.
How did the new number 9 do, Sesko?
I thought he had a pretty good game, but again, he's just lacking any support, and we don't put crosses in. And when we do put crosses in, it's coming from at the moment from our wide players, the likes of Dorgu had 3 or 4 opportunities to get a really good cross in from the left and just didn't each time. Just the crosses weren't beating the first man and stuff like that. So it was, disappointed from that point of view. But it's the first league game where I've gone, okay, we probably got what we deserved there. I think against Arsenal, we probably deserved a point. I think against Fulham, we deserved to beat them. I think against Burnley, we probably should have been 3 up at half time, and ended up getting the right result. Yeah, to be honest, if we lost 2-0, you wouldn't have complained. So 3, you're not really going to worry too much about. And it was bizarre. The media did their usual thing. I mean, some of them were actually spinning a story that we were favourites going into that game. I mean, just absolutely ridiculous. It's like they've all got the knives out. They want Amarin sacked already. It's very toxic world we live in, unfortunately. I think the reality is he's going to be given time. Mainu looked good when he came on. The problem is we are too weak in the middle of midfield, and Bruno can't play there. Whoever he's playing alongside has got too much to do, and none of them are really capable of doing it. So
until we mad. I mean, but then you've got so many foul players ahead of him.
Yeah, well, I must admit, I did kind of think when with Cunha injured this week, I thought, well, you just push Bruno up the pitch, and you play Ugarte and Casemiro in the middle of the park, and actually go, okay, a little bit going, of nous a little bit about them, but or even put a Mainu in with one of them, but he chose not to. He stuck with what he was doing, and we kind of got found out. Unsurprising. Next week we are at home to Chelsea, so we're going to get another stern test next week, and we've got your lot in a few weeks' time as well.
Yeah, that's right. Well, let's see how it goes, that Chelsea game. I mean, Chelsea are a kind of a funny team, obviously dropping points late on to Brentford, I think, on Friday night, I want to say. I'm not sure if it might have even been Saturday evening, but in any event,
Saturday evening. Saturday evening, yeah. It's going to be an interesting one. I mean, it's quite amazing to think you're 12 points out of 12, because you could very easily have been, I don't know, 4, 8, 10, any of that. I mean, you to have won all 4, the way you've won them is ridiculous. Really,
yeah, it shows some great determination, though.
Because
I have to say that
you're not
that game,
really playing. You're not playing great.
I think once we do click, I think things will be a lot smoother. But the pressure on Burnley in that game today just ramped up and up and up as the game went on. So it does look as if we have the ability to be strong late on in the game if we need to. And we've done it for 4 games in a row now.
I didn't actually think. I didn't think really Burnley never looked like you were going to score.
I mean, if you push 11 men back to the 18-yard line, it's hard to score.
It was shots from long range. It was, and Burnley had a couple of good opportunities on the break if they'd have had a bit more pace about them and a bit more strength to hold the ball up.
The XG though was about 3 to 0.13. I mean, it was fairly clear cut, and the shots were 27 to like 3. It was like, the stats were leaning very much in one direction. I've got no issues with taking the 3 points, but you're testing your luck, looking for or getting a penalty that late in the game. They should have put it to bed.
You were 2.65, which I suppose, easily 2.65. You would expect to score a goal. To not score a goal at 2.65 would be unusual, to say the least. But I thought Burnley defended superbly, and I suppose the question is what else were they supposed to do? I mean, I saw they got a lot of stick on social media about the way they lined up, but actually They lined up in a we'll absorb the pressure and we'll try and hit them on the
I
break.
think they did a good job, Lee.
And I thought they did a really good job of it.
They could certainly have walked away with a point.
And to be
Nobody
honest,
would have batted an eyelid.
If Hannibal hadn't have just been an idiot, a moment of absolute just, I mean, what you do, I wouldn't mind if he just jumped, but he lent his arm in. I mean, it's just ridiculous, to be completely honest. But if that hadn't have happened, they'd have seen it out for a 0-0, and everyone would have gone, oh, fair play to Burnley. They've seen it out. What's happened is you've nicked it 1-0, and they've just gone, oh, well, that's just rubbish football. You can't do that. It's like, well, yeah. But
to be honest, I think Atletico Madrid are next up, so they always have some sort of devil eye over us. So that might be a tough one. And I think after that it might be Everton. So they too will fight for their lives. So I mean, great to have the points on the board, but
we will see. And speaking of obviously football, we're heading to Glasgow next weekend, and I see Lewis saying you all coming up. Well,
too right.
Well, Tom will be up there looking after everybody for the weekend. But boy, do they even discuss football in Glasgow at the moment, or is it a bit of a sore subject?
Yeah.
It's going to be a sore subject for half of the city, I'm going to guess, at the moment.
Rangers in 10th.
I can't see him keeping his job. Can you? Surely you're just waiting to hear that he's they've decided to let him go and go with something different, because didn't get them through the Champions League qualifying, and is having an absolute shocker of a start to the season. Not good at all. Not good at all.
So listen, there we go, guys. I think, Lee, we'll call it at that, unless we've anything else for the guys. Short and sweet stream
I think
tonight.
That's pretty much it. Good luck if you're playing Glasgow next weekend. I believe you can register with the casino if you want to get your seat guaranteed. What I would say with the Portsmouth event the other week is, if you played the Friday and bust, we were recommending to just get bought in on the Saturday in advance, so you were guaranteed your seat. We'll see, hopefully the numbers will be pretty good up in Glasgow as well. But good luck if you're playing any of those. And we will catch you next week.
Yeah, fantastic. Time. Thank you, Lee. Thanks everyone for joining us. Poker raffles tomorrow night at 9 p.m. as usual. Worth tuning in. It's always a good 15 minutes. It's fast and furious too. But that aside, Lee and I will be back next Sunday night. And who knows, we may even have a winner from Glasgow at this time next Sunday night. We will see. But if you're playing Glasgow, have a cracking event. And, do post in the APAT Facebook group. Let us know how you're getting on. Right, we'll leave it there, guys. Have a great week, and we will see you in the near future, I would hope. Night, everyone.